Now, I try to stop in this video because there's so much thoughts going on in my mind, and if I try to post everything, it will take me 10 days to finish it. There is a 7-year-old girl. She is not only a 7, but she is the one that become the 29. To RIP my daughter that become the Queen of Holland mother. Now, for example, she believed it's what the consciousness is telling me. I am from 1972. I don't know these things. The reason why I know, because I went on a masturbation, and it's like the more I church, and then God came to me and now telling me to stop churching and now explaining to me what's going on. It might sound maybe I'm just delusional. Well, you need to check it in the system for yourself and find out if it's true, because the me who fall asleep, I have no video to post. The consciousness say when she was the 107 years, this baby was born and become the 10, and then the consciousness become 117. And then this 10-year-old have another baby that become a 10-year-old, and then consciousness become 127. And as soon as the 10-year have a baby, the baby become a 25, and then the consciousness was 152. And then this 25 that came from the 10, that came from the other 10, and now the 25 RIP, the consciousness that was 152 in 1685. And as soon as the consciousness was 10, the energy of the first 10 that become the second 10 that make the 25, they use the energy and put it inside the consciousness that is 152, become 162. And then they copy the body of the consciousness, become the Nana. Now, Nana was the 10. As soon as Nana is 10, it was, Nana was born 1695. And then 10 years later, it was 1705. Michael Jackson was the baby out of the consciousness that came out of the 10-year-old that make the other 10, that make the 25, and now they believe it is their body. They say the consciousness, the 152 went to the 151 because the 151 become the 152. They throw the body away. They just find something else, and they are the one who's using it. The consciousness say no. When they pull her fresh air, they put it anywhere. Where they put her is where she is. Consciousness say the body that is still moving, wherever you put it is where they are. And now the consciousness say when she is climbing up to come down to 1782, there was an attack because the son of her, they went on and make love with other girls, and when the consciousness is feeling her feeling, and now there is this download that is going through the children that manifest, and now a system believe that there is a vibration coming from the consciousness, and now they trace the consciousness, take the consciousness down, and then rebuild a new body, download. They change the body of the consciousness. The consciousness say, you don't have to download and kill the consciousness. The consciousness say, if only what you download, you learn to connect it with each other, then you won't have to chase the consciousness. Because the consciousness has to go to 152, not stop by 115, and then stop by 106, and then stop by 67. Now the consciousness came back to be the 41, and now challenging what happened in 1947. The consciousness says to me that this 7 years old, she did not wait to be a 10-year. The minute consciousness is going to be dead as the 115, consciousness become 107 again, they make a pregnancy for the she. What they did, the consciousness says to me that the girl that was the 10, that make the other 10, that make the 25 to kill her, this girl become a 85 and die, and become a 10-year-old, and then she was a 95 as a 10, and then the 75 become the 85 and come to be her child. As soon as the 75 become the 10, she get pregnant, and then the woman I call my mother today, the consciousness say she become the baby. And a minute my mother become the baby. My mother was 24, and then my grandmother who just died become the child. But the consciousness say my grandmother was a 75 they kill, but my grandmother was the Nanan they make out of the consciousness. And now Nanan become the 20. Nanan has to kill Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson was the 84, came to be Nanan child, and now consciousness left behind become 115, and before consciousness is 115, this 10-year-old that become 85 that die and transit over here, she copy her body again and pass it on to what I call my mother and my grandmother, and then die to be the 7 in 1800. And now this 7 believe that when the consciousness died, she say when the consciousness was 7, she reversed to be the consciousness to 7. But it's not true, because she was 7, consciousness to 7 make her become the 14. But she believed that it's going backwards. The consciousness say, nobody's going backwards. Everything is coming plus, because tomorrow, nobody see it yet. Every 7 years is a future. You get plus. But the mind is actually believing that they can go backwards. And that's the biggest mistake what happened. I will tell you in the next video how the consciousness is trying to turn the table, because there is too much pain going on. The media mark is celebrating, but there is so much sorrow in the media mark, and consciousness is not willing to celebrate, because consciousness knows half of the people are dead, but half of their sex is living on and waiting for the mothers to grow up, but the mothers are now just ghosts if the brothers and sisters don't connect with one another.